Good morning. You are going to spend the day with me. Today is Sunday and I have a lot to get done. Even though it's about 9:30, I'm taking it a little bit easier this morning, but we have a lot to do on our to-do list today. We are going to pick up a grocery order. We're going to make an easy dinner slash freezer meal. So I found this dinner idea, but it's like a freezer friendly one. So I figured I would double it, make one for dinner tonight and then put one in the freezer. I've been really into like freezer meals, and that's the easiest way that I've found to do it that works for me, is make it for that day and then freeze the rest of it. So we're gonna make a beef and broccoli stir fry with fried rice. To take my daughter to her volleyball today, I need to clean up our homeschool room and my office. I have some stuff I need to package up for returns to ship back, normal cleaning, chores, laundry. So I hope you guys enjoy today's video. I'll actually go through our weekly meal plan too, because I planned everything yesterday and then did the Walmart grocery order to pick up today. So beef and broccoli with fried rice, so that's dinner tonight, and then I'm making an extra meal for the freezer that we can use at a later time. Tacos, which is always easy. I always plan some sort of like taco meal. Ground beef, tortillas, cheese, sour cream, lettuce. I think I got tortilla chips. We have some queso, so maybe we'll have some like nachos with that. Out of this recipe book, this is the Instapot Mediterranean diet book. We're gonna have chicken orzo soup with artichokes. I'm gonna make that one day. I have like a spaghetti type meal, but again, not necessarily spaghetti, but maybe like lasagna. Like a lasagna dump is something I really like to make. It's like a high protein. You pretty much like make noodles, sauce, cheese, ground beef, and you mix it all together and bake it. So that's super easy. And then the other recipe that we got, I think out of this book, Bahari chicken. It's like an Indian chicken dish. It has ginger, masala. My husband picked this. So what I've been doing, because I've been really struggling picking meals every single day of the week, so I bought a bunch of cookbooks and I just hand them to someone in my family and I say pick a meal or two. So 2 of our meals are coming from this, and they're both Instapot easier type meals, because also we have activities 5 days a week now between the 3 of my kids, and 3 of those activities are during the week, like around dinner time. So like on Tuesday, one of my kids has gymnastics at 6:30. So that day I can make dinner, but I don't have a lot of time to clean up after it. And so we're going to do the chicken orzo soup, which will be super easy. Cook it in the crock pot. And then Wednesday, one of my kids has volleyball at 4:30. So that's during dinner time, but that's normally, we don't go to her volleyball on that day. We just drop her off. So we can drop her off. So my husband will probably drop her off while I'm making dinner. And then I normally pick something that reheats really easily, so she can eat when she gets home. And then Friday is that same thing. She has the exact same like kind of class that is 4:30 to 6. So I try to factor that in too. And then also on like Sundays is normally where I have a lot of time to cook, or I'm in the kitchen. So that's why I picked the meal tonight that I can make extra and put in the freezer. So, and then I will link the beef and broccoli and the fried rice recipe. Those are both online recipes that I found, both freezer friendly. So I will link both of those. And yeah, so then what I'll do is I kind of just leave all of this in my kitchen. So I have the recipes, I have the plan. I do have on my fridge like a little menu thing that I'll probably write it out, so I kind of just remember if I have to like take something out to defrost, but I don't think so. I think like I'm getting all the chicken for the recipes today, so those aren't going to be frozen. I don't need to defrost anything. I'm getting ground beef today for like the spaghetti, so that's easy, and the tacos. So actually super easy week. I did a huge meal prep last weekend of like dinners and kind of breakfast for the kids and myself. So we have a freezer full of bean and cheese burritos, ham and cheese pockets, oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. I actually just pulled a bag of the oatmeal chocolate chip cookies out and they're in the fridge now so the kids can eat those. I also made sausage breakfast sandwiches like last Wednesday. I got English muffins. I baked some sausage patties and cheese, and I just made a bunch of those sandwiches, wrapped them up, and those are in the fridge for breakfast. So we are covered on breakfast and lunches for the week. Yeah, in a minute. And then I just stocked up on some snacks, which you guys, I'll show you the Walmart haul once we get that. I'm gonna bring my daughter to volleyball. So this is her Sunday volleyball, which is actually at our college. It's the college volleyball team. They do a skills session. So she goes for 8 weeks. And it's actually drop off too. So I need to go drop her off at the college, and then I'm gonna pick up the groceries, come back, unload the groceries. I'll show you guys that, and then I'll have to pick her back up from that when she's done. So that is part of our day. I'm gonna go clean up some stuff downstairs before I have to get ready. And all right, so I'm down in our basement, which is our homeschool room slash kind of kids hangout area, and it's like 2 weeks after Christmas, maybe like a week and a half after Christmas. And I got all of our Christmas decorations down and put away. There is some like that banner I'm just gonna throw away, and some other little like their craft stuff I need to clean up. We have been off school for 2 weeks and we need to get back to school, so I need to get it organized, as well as I need to rearrange this space. My daughter got a gymnastics mat. I don't know, you can't see, it goes like through the other end of the hallway down there. I need to move where that is, and then she also is getting a gymnastics bar and mat, and that we want to put down here. We have this like TV, no one watches TV down here. We do for school, so I think I'm gonna move this TV to that little stand behind me, so then we just have it if we need it. And then I'm gonna kind of rearrange this area for gymnastics and playing. That was my goal for Christmas, buy stuff that's gonna keep them physically busy, and it's working great. So I just need to rearrange this space so it's a little bit easier to navigate and use, and it's separate from our homeschool space. And then I need to clean up our homeschool space. I don't understand, I don't know if you guys can tell, but like all the shelves are like in disarray, all their desks are a mess, and we just need to clean up. So I will need to do all that. And then I also need to go through our online planner. We use a system called Homeschool Planet. It's an online homeschool planner, and it tracks all of our curriculum. Our curriculum is pretty easy. Like you do lesson 1 today and then start lesson 2 tomorrow. So it's not that I need it all the time day to day. My kids do like me printing off daily checklists, but what I like it for is more like forecasting out. You know, it plans out all the curriculum for us, so I know when we're going to be ending certain curriculum, and it is mid-year. I normally like to do a mid-year check-in in January and just kind of see where we're at with our curriculum. You know, are we finishing on time? And it's not really like on time because there's no set dates that we have to follow, but I do like to add some stuff in if we're finishing up a certain curriculum and we're going to have more time. So I just kind of want to do a judgment of where we're at. And I accidentally deleted my son's entire math curriculum somehow. I don't know how I did that. And I need to re-add that back in. So I just need to do some work on the planner. So then tomorrow when they start school, they have their updated checklist, and then I'm ready to film my mid-year check-in. I can talk about all the curriculum, what I like, don't like, what I would change, all of those things. So I'm gonna try to spend the next like 30-40 minutes down here getting as much as I can done before I need to get ready and leave. So let's get to this room organized. So I have like 5 minutes before we need to run out the door. And I finished the basement area, but I didn't film most of it because I literally changed my mind like 100 times of what I was doing. But I think we have a good space now that's going to work for what we need. So let's flip this around. And so this is coming right down like the stairs into the basement. So that is the mat. Either way, it was going to be like you have to step over it like any part of the room we put it in. So I decided to push it up against this wall. And then I still have a walking path into my office. So I don't actually have to step on it. I can walk around it. And then too, if we want, we can move it diagonal over here. And so there's like a longer runway. But either way, the mat has a safe place. That's where the TV and stand used to be. So I moved that TV stand over here where that black cabinet was because we do need that TV down here. The kids like to listen to music. I forgot when they do like gymnastics and play, as well as we use it for homeschool to watch like World Watch News, things like that. So I decided to keep this TV stand down here because it's super heavy and we really don't have anywhere else to put it right now. And then I just put some of our homeschool supplies in those two cabinets. I cleaned up all the extra Christmas stuff. There was like a lot of crafts we were doing, so there was like cut paper everywhere. So I reorganized all that. I still need to go through this. This is like their turn-in bin and all the units that they finished. So I need to grab and go through all of that. I still have those two piles since we've moved in that I haven't gone through. It's like extra curriculum and stuff. So I still need to clean that up, but all the desks are clean and ready. I switched some cords around. So this laptop can charge easier. My son's area is all cleaned up. I cleaned up his Play-Doh bin. He got Play-Doh for Christmas, so cleaned all that up. All his curriculum is ready. I gave him some more like little storage things on his desk, so we'll see. And then I moved his Lego table over here. So because he likes to play Lego, so I figured he could do that some days while we're doing school. I still need to update the calendar, so I will get to that when I get back home. But yeah, I think it's a better use of the space. We have the gymnastics bar coming, which then that can be just in the middle of the room. So then you're not going to be like whacking your feet on walls. This mat, you're supposed to stay on the mat when you're doing stuff. So as long as you're just doing like your cartwheels and roundoffs on the mat, it doesn't matter if it's against a wall, but again, we can always diagonal move it out. The bar will be here, and then we still have our school area. So I feel good because I've been needing to get that done for like over a week, but I just was not doing super good. I had right after Christmas, we had family in town, and then their last day in town, I started feeling really, really bad. And I ended up having a kidney infection, which was not fun by any means. And that like took me out. I am not one to lay around and do nothing. And when I tell you I could not get out of bed for at least 2 full days, it was rough. So I'm finally feeling 90% better. And so I actually had energy to do stuff, which was amazing. So I'm going to go drop my daughter off at volleyball, pick up my Walmart grocery order, come back home. I'll show you guys the Walmart haul, and then I'll see if I have time to get anything else done. She has an hour and a half at volleyball, but I like to be there about 15 minutes before it ends early to pick her up, just because it's on a college campus, like a legit college campus, and so it's pretty big. It's not just like a volleyball gym, you know, attached to a small building. It's pretty big. So we'll see what else we get through, but this is a huge accomplishment. Next up will just be those last couple things down here. And the joy of a 6-year-old trying to help you clean. He was trying to clean our Nintendo Switch remote and decided to dunk it in water. So we're going to see if the rice trick works to get all the water out of it. Alright, so I am back home, and it is now 4 o'clock. I think the last time I updated it was like right before 12 o'clock, so it's been about 4 hours. And I feel like, yeah, I dropped my daughter off. Well, I stayed with her for a little bit until like she was good and her class started, and then I had to go to Walmart to pick up the groceries, and that took a long time. And then I had to just drive back, drop the groceries off, and then go back to my daughter's volleyball. So that was like the first couple hours. And then we decided to go drive around and look at some houses. So that took some time. And now I'm gonna start. So I am not doing the Walmart haul because I had to just bring everything in. My son actually helped me put everything away, so I can't do a haul, but I do know that for the beef and broccoli, I ordered 2 things of like thinly sliced steak meat, and I only got 1, so I can't double the recipe, but this is a freezer friendly meal prep, so keep that in mind. I am gonna still make double the broccoli or double the fried rice and freeze one of those, but yeah, I don't have enough meat to make a double meal. So we're gonna make this. I have both these linked down below. I'm gonna start with the rice because I actually just need to cook the rice. This says 3.5 cups of uncooked rice. I don't feel like I believe that because that says that's 6 servings. I think that this recipe means cooked rice. So I'm gonna cook, I think 5 cups of rice to split between the 2 meals. So I'm gonna get that done in my Instapot. Instapot is so easy to cook rice. It takes minutes and it comes out perfect every time. So I'm gonna start my rice and then we'll turn it into fried rice. That is going, and then I actually can't see them, but there's like these magnetic shelves I got from Amazon that stick on the side of your fridge, and I just don't have a lot of counter space in this kitchen at all. So I'm gonna put these oranges I got, but I feel like one of these oranges is bad. Yeah, it's got smashed. Put those in there. Here, cilantro, I can't remember what I got that for. Onion, gingers for dinner tonight. Some avocados. I'm just going to store them up here with the oranges until they're ready, hopefully in a few days, and that's when we'll have them with some tacos. The lemons, I'll open up and do the same. Okay, so the beef and broccoli is actually really easy. So even that, if you just bought the beef and had to prep that, it's not hard. So I'm gonna make the marinade, and I am going to make the second marinade. So the only thing that I'm not doing is making the beef. This beef you don't put in the marinade because the beef you put in cornstarch. So when you fry it, it's like gets like a coating on it. The sauce, the teriyaki sauce, is separate. So I'm going to make 2 things of teriyaki sauce, one for tonight's dinner and then one to put in the freezer. And the reason why I'm doing that is because like grabbing out all of these spices and measuring, it's easier to do it right now once than, you know, after a long day of work or homeschooling or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to double the sauce recipe and then freeze that while the rice is cooking. Okay, so we're gonna make this sauce. Okay, I also bought these really cool things off Amazon. I'll link them. They are to hold up freezer bags when you're putting in like liquidy stuff. So I have my gallon or my freezer quart size bag. So I'm gonna put the second sauce in here. And see, it just holds it up for you while you fill it up. So there's that one. And then I need garlic. All right, and then here's my bowl for right now. There's my meat, broccoli. Okay, I need garlic in my recipe. Okay, so I need a 1/2 cup of soy sauce in each thing. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me try to point it down. A little bit more is what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna get so half a cup soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. Came out. Battery died, so hopefully we're back in action. And I have the light on. I have to be able to see, but the light is horrible for filming, so sorry guys. Okay, so we have that. It says fresh ginger. I don't have fresh ginger, so I'm gonna use ground ginger. How much garlic? It says 1 clove, so I'm gonna do a couple cloves. Oh, I don't think this garlic is good anymore. That, I'm gonna use garlic powder because I have fresh cloves, but I don't want to go through all that right now. So we're just gonna put some garlic in here. And with cooking, you really can like adjust the seasonings as you want. And garlic is one of those ones I don't think you can ever have too much of. I am gonna add a little bit of salt. I know there's soy sauce, but I feel like salt still is a good flavor to have. Sesame oil. How much sesame oil? Half a teaspoon. This one. Okay. And then red pepper flakes. I'm not going to do a ton of red pepper flakes because my kids are going to be eating this, but if you like it spicy, I would add more. A little bit. Just so that brown sugar for dinner tonight. This one is going to be the one that we freeze. So that's all it is in a Ziploc. I'm going to try to get as much air out as possible. And then I'm going to lay it flat. So when it freezes, it's going to freeze flat. I'm going to lay that out. And then I did buy a bunch of broccoli for this because I was making the 2. So I'm just going to freeze one of these bags with this. Actually going to freeze it together, so I'm going to flatten out the broccoli as much as I can. Actually going to break this piece up a little bit. And then I'm going to put the sauce in here. So really, I have the veggies, the sauce, and if I just had some of that steak or even chicken that was ready to be cooked, ground beef, and then I'm going to have the rice already frozen ready too, then this is going to be a very easy meal. So there's part of the freezer meal, so I'm going to put this to the side. And then this is for dinner tonight. And so now I'm just going to clean up. So again, this isn't that it's hard to do, but I had to get all these spices and stuff out. Now I can clean it up, put it away. It's going to be a little bit easier. This steak is super, super thin. I would recommend that for this type of meal. So I want to separate them all so they're all going to get coated in cornstarch. All right, I cannot film with that light on. So all that I would have done different is I would have just had a big gallon size bag open, same way I was doing the sauce, and I would have put the other pack of meat in there and did the exact same thing with the cornstarch, and then you freeze the meat like that. So that is like the freezer portion of the meat, but everything else would have been the same. Now is on to the fried rice, and I'm going to make 2 servings of this, and then I'm going to freeze half of it to make again. And so the fried rice, I need, this fried rice does have for chicken in it, but because we're having it with meat, I'm not going to add chicken to it. So I also have some carrot and zucchini. I don't want to put a ton of vegetables in here because I don't want my kids to be like, what are you doing to us, Mom? But I want to have some vegetables in here. So I'm going to do maybe one more cube. So really this fried rice could be a meal on its own if you added, like the recipe calls for chicken, or you could still add chicken to it and just have an extra protein filling meal. But with all this egg, veggies, and rice, it's actually a really good meal on its own. And this is going to be so nice having this in the freezer, because this is a lot of steps and a lot of work. So this is why I chose this on like a Sunday when I have somewhat more time than like on a weeknight. But now I have this type of meal in the freezer for weeknight. So the rice is done, perfectly cooked. This is the pan I'm going to cook the eggs in, and then the rice. So I'll scramble the eggs, and I'll add in those veggies with some frozen peas. And then this is the seasoning I'm using, fried rice. This one has different instructions. I think it says like soy sauce. We'll see how it tastes when I'm frying it up. All right, and the fried rice is ready. I have really small pots and pans, unfortunately, but this is 2 batches of it. It is delicious. It is so good. So that is done. We're gonna have some for dinner tonight, and then I'm gonna freeze half of this for another dinner. So good. You can make your own homemade fried rice. Absolutely delicious. I mean, but it did take a lot of work. Like, my kitchen is a mess, so now I get to enjoy this dinner again when I'm not feeling like making my kitchen a mess and doing all these ingredients. So the rice is done. I just need to do the beef and broccoli now. And there's the rice. I'm going to let it cool. I'll freeze it flat. The broccoli and the sauce. So all we would need is to add meat to this, and we have another meal ready in the freezer. Up our dinner for tonight, and I will check in tomorrow morning because I am not finishing everything I wanted to do, but we're going to wake up early and we're going to get it done tomorrow. All right, it is the next morning. Good morning. It is early. It is 6:30. I wanted to get this done before I started work for the day, and so the kids can start school today. What I did on our very last day before break, which was December 20th, I had my kids complete all their lessons, and then they kind of just wrote down like what they had finished, so I can update the schedule. My plan was to update the schedule that night, but I didn't do it. So I need to go through, and then as well as we were supposed to actually start school back last week. I did not plan to take last week off, but we ended up taking last week off. So I need to update that schedule as well. And then I think I said that I accidentally deleted all of my son's math curriculum. Homeschool Planet, it's basically like a completely customizable calendar, but they do partner with certain curriculum brands. So most of the time, if they partner with a curriculum brand and you can like buy the pre-made lessons, I do that, but they don't work with the Good and the Beautiful. And that's what I'm using for my son's kindergarten math at this time. So everything that he's done, I accidentally deleted, and anything I had planned going forward, I also deleted. I don't even know how I did that, but I need to get back on because I want to just kind of like forecast out how much longer he's going to be doing this math, because then I need to decide what we're doing next for his math. So I'm going to update our schedule. These are the checklists I print out for them each week. It has their list of assignments. My daughters really like having this just so they can kind of stay on track. We also use Friday as kind of like a catch-up day. So if one of their lessons is taking longer on a certain day, they have Friday to clean, or not to clean up, to finish it up. And then the one for my son, it's just easy. I can kind of see where he should be at. So I'm gonna get in there, get my schedule done. This shouldn't take me more than 30 minutes. So when you log into your Homeschool Planet planner, if there's any assignments that you have not yet completed, it will give you this pop-up just saying, hey, like what's going on? I have a lot because we haven't updated this in 2 weeks. So I'm gonna go through and kind of start marking these off. Okay, so she completed. I'm gonna do that. Okay, so she completed. That's completed. And see, this is the week before we were on break. So it's normally like our language arts and social studies that we get behind on schedule wise, just because sometimes the lessons are super quick and easy. Other days they take a lot longer. All right, so I got all the schedules done. Didn't actually take me that long, so I'm just putting their checklist on their desk. My girls, you know, wake up and they'll get started on their own, so that's really why they like to have their checklist in case I'm in a meeting or something. And then my son, we normally get started after my morning meetings. I take a little bit of a break and we'll get started on his. It is so nice. The homeschool room is all organized and cleaned up. I'm going to go through all of this. This is like their turn-in bin, and do my mid-year check-in. I'm going to talk about all the curriculum, all the things. Everything is ready for today for school. The last thing I had on my to-do list was package up some returns, which I have done. They're just upstairs, so I didn't move the boxes. But I did want to show you guys the breakfast that I was talking about, I think yesterday. This is what I've been eating all week. So this is a freezer friendly meal prep, but also you can just make it ahead for the week. So there are these breakfast sandwiches. I wrap them in parchment paper, heat them up in parchment paper. So these ones are just sausage, English muffin, and cheese. I try to not eat eggs. My stomach doesn't like the eggs that much. So it was super easy. I meal prepped it all at once. So this is what I made for breakfast one morning. I got like a roll of just breakfast sausage. I flattened it into patties and put them in the oven and baked them. I toasted the English muffins for just a few minutes, and then I put all the sandwiches together. Then I wrapped them up and put them in the fridge, and then you have to do when they're from the fridge is heat them up for like 45 seconds. Obviously you are microwaving something, so the bread, if you microwave it too long, the bread will get a little chewy. I'm sure you could heat it up in like the oven or air fryer, but these are so easy to grab. My kids love them. Yeah, it literally tastes like a McDonald's sausage McMuffin, but it's all the good ingredients that you put together yourself. So yeah, I made 6 one morning. So I had like a pack of 12 English muffins. It was a really big pack. So I made 6 like on Tuesday of last week. We ate through those, and then on Saturday morning I made them again for breakfast and just put the extras in the fridge. So they haven't lasted long enough. They haven't lasted long enough to freeze them. But I really do like this. I want to play around with some different breakfast sandwich options, which I think that will be my next specific meal prep video. Is going to be all breakfast stuff. I'm going to stock our freezer with breakfast food because we always need an easy grab and go breakfast. So I got my stuff done, even though it kind of carried into this morning. I am ready to start our work day, our school day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day, guys. Bye.